Welcome back to AI Search Explained by Rank4AI. I'm Adam Parker, and as always, I'm joined by my co-founder, Jimmy Connoley. Today, we're diving into something that's been coming up in almost every audit we do at rank4ai.co.uk. What actually makes a website easy for AI systems to interpret and cite?
And this is crucial because we're seeing businesses that rank well in traditional Google search getting completely overlooked by ChatGPT, Perplexity, and the other AI systems. It's not just about having good content anymore. It's about structuring that content in a way these systems can actually understand and use.
Exactly. Through our research across ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Copilot, and Perplexity, we've identified some clear patterns. The websites that get cited consistently share specific structural characteristics that most businesses don't even know they need. So let's start with the basics. When you say structure, what are we actually talking about here? Because I know business owners are thinking about their current websites and wondering if they need to rebuild everything. Good news, you rarely need to rebuild. It's more about how you organize and present information. AI systems are essentially pattern recognition machines, and they're looking for clear hierarchies, logical relationships between concepts, and contextual signals that help them understand what you're actually talking about.
Right, but that sounds quite abstract. Can you give me a concrete example from one of our audits? Perfect example. We audited a Manchester accounting firm last month. Their website had great content about tax planning, but when we tested it across different AI systems, they were getting 0 citations. The problem wasn't the quality of their advice. It was that their content was structured like blog posts rather than reference material. What's the difference there? Blog posts tell stories, often burying the key information in narrative. Reference material leads with clear definitions, uses consistent terminology, and structures information hierarchically. When Claude or ChatGPT is trying to answer a question about corporation tax, it needs to quickly identify authoritative statements, not wade through a story about John's tax planning journey.
That makes sense. So how did you fix it for them?
We restructured their content with clear headings that matched the questions people actually ask AI systems. Instead of our approach to tax planning, we used what tax deductions can limited companies claim in 2024. The content underneath stayed largely the same, but the framing completely changed. And that worked. Within 6 weeks, they went from 0 AI citations to being referenced regularly by Perplexity and Google's AI overviews. The key was making it easy for the AI to understand what information they could authoritatively cite. Which brings up something important. Not all content should be trying to get AI citations. There's still value in narrative content, customer stories, company culture pages. We're talking about specific types of informational content here. Absolutely. Through our testing, we found that AI systems primarily cite content that answers direct questions or provides factual information. They're much less likely to cite opinion pieces, case studies, or promotional content. So you need to be strategic about which pages you optimize for AI interpretation. Let's talk about the technical side then. What specific elements make content easier for AI systems to parse? Schema markup is huge. We're seeing consistent patterns where pages with proper schema, especially FAQ schema, how-to schema, and local business schema, get cited more frequently. The AI systems use this structured data as confirmation that the content is authoritative and relevant. But schema has been around for years. Why is it suddenly more important for AI? Traditional search engines used schema as one signal among hundreds. AI systems seem to rely on it much more heavily for context and verification. When Gemini sees FAQ schema that matches a user's question, it's much more confident about citing that content than unstructured text that might contain the same information. Makes sense. What about the actual writing style? Are there specific approaches that work better?
Definitely. Clear, declarative statements perform much better than hedged or qualified language. Instead of, many experts believe that businesses might benefit from implementing these strategies, you want businesses reduce costs by implementing these 3 strategies. The AI systems prefer confidence and specificity.
Though you need to be careful not to make claims you can't back up, right?
Exactly. And this is where we see a lot of businesses struggle. They're used to marketing copy that oversells or legal copy that overqualifies everything. AI-friendly content sits in between. It's confident but accurate, specific but not overstated.
Let's talk about citations and sources. We've noticed AI systems care a lot about how well-sourced your content is.
This is critical. In our testing, content that cites authoritative sources, government websites, academic papers, industry reports, gets cited much more frequently by AI systems. It's like they're checking your homework before they'll vouch for your information.
But there's a practical challenge here. Most businesses don't naturally write with citations. It feels academic or overwrought for a company website. True, but you can do it subtly. Instead of formal academic citations, you might link to the ONS when mentioning statistics, or reference company's house guidance when discussing filing requirements. The key is showing the AI system where your information comes from. What about page structure? Are there layout considerations that matter? Headers are crucial, and I mean proper H1, H2, H3 hierarchy, not just styled text that looks like headers. AI systems use header structure to understand content organization. We've seen pages with poor heading structure get ignored even when they contain better information than well-structured competitors. And lists? I've noticed AI responses often use bullet points or numbered lists. Lists are gold. AI systems love structured information they can easily extract and reformat. When Copilot is answering a question about steps to register a company, it's looking for content organized as numbered steps, not paragraphs describing the process. This is starting to sound like a complete shift in how we think about web content. How are UK businesses handling this transition? It's mixed. The businesses we work with who embrace this early are seeing significant advantages. They're becoming the default sources AI systems cite in their industries. But many are still thinking about content purely in terms of traditional SEO. What's the risk of ignoring this? Invisibility. If your potential customers are asking ChatGPT or Perplexity for recommendations and your business never gets mentioned, you might as well not exist online. We're seeing this happen to some very established businesses with strong traditional search presence. Let's get practical. If a business owner is listening to this thinking, I need to audit my content, where should they start? Pick your 5 most important service or information pages. Test them by asking the main AI systems questions that your content should answer. See if your business gets mentioned in the responses. If not, that's your starting point for restructuring. And when they're doing that testing, what should they look for specifically? Look at how the AI formats its response. If it's using numbered lists, your content should include numbered lists. If it's defining terms, make sure you have clear definitions. The AI is showing you the structure it prefers for that type of information. What about local businesses? We work with a lot of UK companies that serve specific geographic areas.
Location context is increasingly important. AI systems are getting better at understanding local relevance, but you need to make it obvious. Don't assume mentioning UK once is enough. Be specific about the areas you serve and the local regulations or conditions that apply. And this ties into the Google AI Overviews rollout we're seeing, right? Exactly. Google's AI Overviews are becoming more prominent in search results, and they follow similar citation patterns to the other AI systems. The businesses that optimize for AI interpretation are getting featured in both traditional AI systems and Google's enhanced search results.
Let's talk about monitoring and measurement. How do businesses track whether their AI optimization is working?
This is challenging because there aren't traditional analytics for AI citations yet. We use direct testing, regularly querying the major AI systems with questions relevant to our clients' businesses and tracking citation frequency and accuracy over time.
That sounds quite manual. Is there a more scalable approach? We're developing some automated monitoring tools, but right now manual testing gives the most reliable insights. The key is being systematic. Same questions, same AI systems, tracked over time to identify trends and improvements. What about content freshness? Do AI systems care about how recently content was published or updated? They definitely prefer current information, especially for topics that change frequently. But it's not just about publication dates. It's about ensuring your content reflects current conditions, regulations, prices, whatever's relevant to your industry. So if you're a business with evergreen content that's still accurate, you might want to update publication dates when you review and verify the information. Careful there. Don't just change dates without actually reviewing content. AI systems seem to detect when information is genuinely current versus just artificially timestamped. Better to actually refresh and improve the content when you update dates. Good point. What about technical considerations beyond schema? Site speed, mobile optimization, do these traditional factors still matter for AI? They matter because AI systems still need to access and crawl your content effectively. A slow site or poor mobile experience can prevent AI systems from properly indexing your content in the first place. The traditional technical foundations still apply. Are there any specific mistakes you see businesses making when they try to optimize for AI systems? The biggest one is over-optimization, stuffing content with keywords or trying to game the system. AI systems are sophisticated enough to recognize and penalize obvious manipulation. Authenticity and genuine expertise still matter most. And the other extreme, businesses that think they can't compete because they're not tech companies. That's completely wrong.
AI systems value expertise and authority in specific domains. A local solicitor who structures their content well can compete with national law firms for AI citations. It's about demonstrating knowledge clearly, not about having advanced technology. As we wrap up, what's the one thing business owners should focus on first? Start with clarity. Look at your key content and ask whether it clearly answers specific questions your customers have. If someone asked an AI system about your area of expertise, would your content be easy for that system to understand and cite? That's your foundation. And remember, this isn't about replacing traditional SEO or marketing. It's about expanding your digital presence into these new AI-driven channels that more customers are using every day.
Exactly. The businesses that adapt to AI interpretation early are positioning themselves for significant competitive advantages as these systems become more central to how people find information and services.
Thanks for listening to AI Search Explained by Rank4 AI. If you want to understand how your business currently performs across AI systems, you can find more information about our audits and optimization services at rank4ai.co.uk.
We'll be back next week with more insights from our ongoing research into AI search systems. Until then, start testing your content with the major AI platforms and see how you can make it easier for these systems to understand and cite your expertise.